That time a 6-play drive. And the final piece to the puzzle was the Cam Newton touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now we see Sammy Watkins getting ready to go again on offense. You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From the 44, Mahomes. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. 27 yards there, a first down.
Let's go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now Mahomes to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together, the front and back.
And Williams is in for a Chiefs touchdown. Damian Williams taking it in, and the Chiefs are able to draw a bit closer. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Cam Newton getting ready to go again on offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
Newton now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hogan. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Newton now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Newton. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 21 yards. Again, Newton. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
Interception, baby. All day. All day.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10.
Watch the screen.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Getting set to go again here, Cam Newton marches back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say not get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. On second down, McCaffrey. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Newton. Catch here, left side, Thomas. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I think it's okay, though. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
To throw again on second down. Newton, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Set. Right there to 3. 8.
They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now Newton. And Olsen over the middle. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Flushed out right. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And the Panthers in for the score.
We touch down your city. That's it.
Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Gano the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and Cam able to take it himself in for the score. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now a pass that's taken in by Hill. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 12 yards there and a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain.
Now Williams. Williams loses the football, and it's picked up by the Panthers, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Touchdown, Carolina! Christian McCaffrey, 59 yards. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Gano for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Well, I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Damian Williams and the Chiefs ready to begin their next drive. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the one touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here a throw taken in by Watkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it, and his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. So Newton and the Panthers come up now 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey, and he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. A gain of 3, second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Gun.
Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 18 yards and a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Panthers just continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of,
the Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. They create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job here of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, Offense, defense, special teams. They put it all together. And I gotta tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
16 yards, a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Focus, defense, focus. He's coming.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs use the short field to their advantage as they can. In for 6. Extra point safely through, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Here's Newton. And he finds a man. It's McCaffrey. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. They give him a gain of 38. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage is been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence, because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
On first down, it's Newton. And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
And now we've at that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, He used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on, like, the 5th tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Watkins, the intended receiver.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the... Pick up there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Kansas City.